3 ans après un God of War qui reste à ce jour l'un des jeux d'action les plus épiques de sa génération, Sony offre à la PS3 un 4e épisode qui remue le passé trouble de Kratos. Avec God of War Ascension, toutes nos questions restées en suspens vont-elles trouver enfin une réponse? Les développeurs du jeu étaient de passage à Paris il y a quelques jours pour nous éclairer de leur lumière et on leur laisse tout de suite la parole.
The reason why we wanted to tell the story of Ascension is that it brings you back to a point before God of War 1. It brings you back to a point in Kratos' history where he's not so rage-filled. He's tormented by the gods. You're kind of curious why he's tormented by the gods, why he's having these visions. The only time that you know anything about Kratos, his past, is from movies from the other games. So for the fans of the series, you get to go back to a time and you get to play this and experience it and find out what did he go through, what was his adventure that led him to the point to where he was in God of War 1. And for fans who've never played the series before, this will be a very good introduction for them because they won't have played maybe God of War 1, 2, or 3. They'll be able to go back to the beginning in this game and start from scratch.
I think it's also just what type of story you want to tell. Like in this game, we definitely wanted to focus on Kratos' personal torment. We wanted to focus on him a little bit more than previous games where he became kind of a rage-filled maniac that just killed everything in his path. So I think the type of story you're trying to tell will drive the type of sequences that Kratos will go through in this game, and I think that's what happened with Ascension.
Si l'histoire avec God of War Ascension remonte le passé, qu'en est-il du gameplay? Peut-on s'attendre à des nouveautés? Comment les développeurs s'y sont pris pour faire mieux que God of War 3? Réponse.
Well, one of the major differences this game is the rage system. Kratos, this game, will be able to build a rage meter throughout every single fight that he fights. And when that rage meter gets high, Kratos gets more powerful, his moves get stronger, and players can choose to remain strong, or they could choose to kind of release it all in kind of a super rage attack. And it's part of the player choice that we wanted to give players this game in every single fight.
And then another thing that we really wanted to concentrate on is we wanted to concentrate on bringing Kratos through this grand adventure. And some of the games that preceded the one that we worked on this time, we didn't get to have Kratos experience that Odyssey. He went to a couple of different places, and one of the great things about an epic story is the different places that you go to. So we wanted to make sure that there was a number of different crazy locations that you would go to, and I think in God of War Ascension we definitely achieved something where you start and where you end up might be the same exact place, but the ride that you get there is just a wild roller coaster.
Si la campagne solo est bien évidemment le cœur du jeu, God of War Ascension introduit pour la première fois un mode multijoueur. Un choix évident de la part des créateurs, mais pas si simple à mettre en place.
Early, like right after God of War 3, one of the first tests we did was just put a few Kratoses in the arena and just have them fight with each other since we had some network stuff going on. We wanted to see how that was going to work. And what we found is that people were having a lot of fun even when we kind of just threw it in there and we knew that, the way it was right now, it wasn't going to work, but there was still some fun to be had because, playing God of War gives you kind of a very brutal, epic experience where it feels very good to kill the enemies, you feel very powerful. And when players were starting to experience that fighting other real players, it seemed to be just as satisfying. So we knew when we saw that we wanted to go down that road.
The most difficult thing was just trying to figure out what was multiplayer. We spent many months, many prototypes where we make one step forward and take 2 steps back, or we take something that we thought was working really well and then we would stop on that and then we'd move to another thing before we finally found something after many hours, a lot of pain.
Avec l'arrivée des consoles next-gen et une PS3 qui va bientôt tirer sa révérence, on imagine que la suite des aventures de Kratos va se dérouler sur PlayStation 4. L'occasion pour nous d'essayer de tirer les verres du nez aux développeurs pour nous avouer qu'un nouveau God of War est en préparation sur PS4.
So, the future of the franchise for us, I can tell you that. For the next couple of weeks and next couple of months, we plan on being a large part of God of War Ascension, because even after it releases, we're not done yet. We need to continue to polish and we need to continue to tune, because multiplayer is a new animal that we've never dealt with before, and that means staying in touch with our community, staying in touch with our fans, continuing to polish and address issues as they find them. So we don't really have any forward thinking past that. We'll talk about maybe new content for the multiplayer, but other than that, our sole focus right now is to think about God of War Ascension.